Hello, humans of the earth, and thank you for joining us on this wonderful day. My name is Dana,
And my name is Heidi.
and this is Fun Times with Dana and Heidi. Today, we will be discussing this week's latest positive news stories, but first, we have a never before seen tweet of the week. And this tweet comes from at DMF Papa, and he says, "Y'all ever cried over a math problem? That's a different kind of hurt right there." And I have to say that I wholeheartedly agree to this. I have memories of me in middle school just being very confused and frustrated. And I
Right?
do agree that it's a different kind of hurt. Heidi, what do you think?
I don't think I've ever had like a mental breakdown on any type of homework but math. Like I'm trying to think about it. And I've never like had a breakdown over math. Like I'm trying to think about it. And I've never like had a breakdown over English or history. It's always been
It's
math. You
always
know
math.
why?
Why?
Because in class they teach you and you understand it perfectly, right? But then
Hmm.
the homework that they send home with you is a different type of subject.
Exactly. Hmm.
It's not even on the spectrum. It's just a whole nother, it's like another language.
Yeah, it's like another language, and I remember feeling like that when I took geometry specifically because we would learn like one theorem and it was super easy, and then like we would like take the homework and it was like a bunch of really complicated word problems, and I would get very frustrated.
And they're always really long too. Like I spent like 2 hours on homework on math, like just
Hmm.
on math.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I understand that you need practice, but it's gonna take you on an emotional roller coaster, math will. There's many highs and lows. So yeah. Everyone, math is a hot topic, a controversial topic. Now we are going to start with Heidi's wonderful news story. It looks rather interesting. I can only see like a vague because we have a document right now, and that's where we like plan things out. But info, so Heidi is very
Yeah, it's
excited to
really
share.
lengthy, but like it's super cute.
It's
So for
cute.
today's news story, we have a grandmother working at McDonald's who receives a big surprise from a local secret Santa. So before Diana clocks in at the McDonald's on Yellowstone Highway each morning, she and her husband deliver. And this takes place in Idaho Falls, Idaho. So I'm pretty sure it's pretty cold around this time, right, Dana?
Yeah, and it's also like a lot of newspapers like to go and to deliver to like 150 different places. Like that's a lot.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
So, so Nate Ethan, a news manager for the East Idaho News Community website, surprised Diana, who is 65 years old, at her work to a new 2019 Hyundai Tucson, $5,000 in gift cards for gas, and a check for $1,000 to cover the cost of the new car's registration that a local secret Santa gave her. So we don't know the identity, and Eaton is just like the like not the middleman, but just the guy who like hands it to her, you know?
Yeah, that's interesting. That's so mysterious. Who could have been this random and kind stranger? Who could it
I know,
be? The
like
one we
that's
never
how
know.
you like that man or that woman is probably very, very kind because a lot of the times people seek fame and giving goods.
Hmm.
But this guy was like, no, like let this play out, and I'll just be here myself, and I'll be having fun, and she'll be having a new car, and I'll be having fun, and she'll be having a new car, and I also love how the secret Santa gave her the gift cards for gas and the entrance thing, and like not entrance, like the registration, because a lot of the times when you get things, sometimes you need to buy a separate part with it, and it did not come with it, and you're like, oop. Eaton has been the sole representative of a local secret Santa who gives money and other gifts to deserving members of the community. This year, the anonymous secret Santa learned of Baldwin and her husband, Cameron, who is also 65, so they are well into their life,
Hmm.
who's on
Yes.
disability well into their life,
Hmm.
who's on
Yes.
disability purpose. I would like to say I love old people. I think they're the sweetest people ever. This is
Hmm.
no shade towards them. I love grandmas and grandpas.
Yes, we love grandmas and
So
grandpas.
they so Exactly, yeah. And her husband is on a sort of health problems as well, but she's just pushing through and taking it day by day. So before Diana clocks in at McDonald's, she always has to deliver newspapers with her husband, and they have been driving in a dilapidated Dodge Caravan. With guess the mileage. The mileage is the highest I've seen in my life. With guess the mileage. The mileage is the highest I've seen in my life.
How much is the mileage?
240,000 miles on it. That's so much.
That is a lot. That is a
And
lot.
like, for comparison, my family has had our little minivan for 7 because 2021's coming up,
Woohoo!
and we have 70,000 miles on it, and that we think that that is a lot. And this couple has 240,000.
That's like more than twice that, right? That's crazy.
Yeah, like I have my calculator here because I'm a full-time
70,000.
student.
It's really math class here. Really math class here, huh?
Yeah, yeah. And let's just see.
Yeah, it's more than half.
That's like 3
More than
times
3
it.
times, actually. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's literally crazy. And so she was so grateful and happy, and they aired this on TV. So there was a video in the article that Dana will link to our website,
Uh-huh.
and it was so cute because like she's like old and she has her little lady old voice, yeah. Oh,
Little old lady voice.
little old lady voice.
You said
Yes,
little lady old voice.
I know my words are just. I know my words are just very very mixed up at the moment.
Yes, but I
And her excitement showed through her mask because this wonderful old lady was wearing her mask properly, so it was over the nose, but we could still see how excited she was with through her eyes.
Aw, it's so cute.
I know, it
I
was
love
really,
that.
really cute. And so Diana's husband of 42 years, so we love a long and healthy marriage. The new SUV came in as a shock. So yes, the Tucson was an SUV. It was a pretty good size. I'm pretty sure you can fit 5 people in it with a lot of trunk space too. So it's not a sedan. It's a right after the interview with Nate Ethan was over, Diana calls me in tears and says, "Cam, I need to pick you up in about 5 minutes. I want you to drive the new SUV that was just given to us. We need to go down to the dealership and get the papers," Cameron told Today. So this like made headlines on in the USA, and it's so cute because she was like genuinely happy, because a lot of people expect things during Christmas time, which I don't blame them because Christmas, but this couple was not expecting anything. So it was
Yes,
like, oh
and
my gosh.
they got what they deserved in a positive way, in a positive way. They got what they deserved in a positive way, in a positive way from this mysterious anonymous secret Santa who gave them an entire car and money to cover the car. That's really great.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that's what makes this story so unique is that the Secret Santa is truly a secret. No one knows but Ethan, who he's the only one that knows who the Secret Santa's true identity is, and no one else knows.
Mm-hmm.
So the couple has some guesses about the identity of the local Secret Santa, but obviously nothing's confirmed. But they do have to say this: "Whoever it is, thank you very much. We love you very much. If we ever find out who you are, we would like to give you a big hug." And I
Aw.
think another thing that's unique about this process is that most recipients are nominated by community members, and they have to go through an intensive narrowing process. So Diana didn't apply for anything. No one applied. Diana didn't apply for anything. No one applied for anything. These people are nominated. And the news reporter was saying how are generally people who never ask for help. They're humble and they're never asking for handouts or assistance, he said. Super cute.
Yes.
Super
So
cute.
the
Thoughts, Dana?
community members looked at her and thought this woman deserves a car. I love that. I love it for them.
Yeah, they nominated her like no one applied for anything. And I think that's super cute because I think that shows how truly humble and genuine and down to earth this couple is because people would not nominate snobs.
Yeah.
Smiling with the new car in the back, like the car is like 3 times her size.
That's so cute. I love that story. That was so wholesome. That was so cute. And she definitely deserves her new car. She's gonna be driving around all cute in her little in her little van. She's going to be having a great time. So now we are going to move on. Researchers at Harvard's music lab have determined that American infants relax when they are played lullabies, even those that are unfamiliar and in a foreign language. So they did a research experiment, not like a weird one, a very wholesome one and a safe one, where they
Look,
had.
this is what I'm picturing. I'm picturing a bunch of babies being lined up and having music in their ears, like with like mini headphones. That's what I'm picturing.
Yeah, I think it was just played like how you play it on a speaker or something. So the infants responded to universal elements of the songs despite the unfamiliarity of the melodies and the languages. So even though there were languages from the Middle East and from Central America, they still vibed to it, like they were still having a good time. And so to measure the infants' relaxation responses to the recordings, the researchers focused on pupil dilation. Is I think that's when like your pupils like get big. Heart rate changes,
Yeah, yeah.
electrodermal activity, which is a measure of excitement from the electrical resistance of the skin. Who knew? And as well
Whoa.
as
Who knew?
frequency of blinking and gaze direction as indicators of relaxation or agitation. So whether they were vibing or whether they did not like it. No. Generally, the infants experience a decrease in heart rate and pupil dilation and had electrodermal activity in response to the unfamiliar lullabies. So that proved that no matter what language it was in, they still reacted positively to it and they felt relaxed. And so this was a rather short experiment. So the researchers had to act quickly because of their subjects' limited attention spans, and most of the babies in the experiment could pay attention for about 5 minutes before getting distracted. So props to the
Wait,
researchers, props to the babies. Very cute.
that's about my attention span too. Like I keep
That's
track
our
of
expense.
really Harvard's on their game. I love that. And who knew that your excitement can be measured through your electrical resistance?
Yes, there's electricity in your skin. It's like I think it's like a measure of like not arousal, but like positive arousal, not like a different kind of arousal, like excitement. You know what I mean? That it's like excitement. You know what I mean? That it's
Positive
yeah,
arousal.
like a positive, wholesome kind of that. And yeah, and it's just electrical resistance to the skin. So who knew? A new scientific concept. We love that. And
Oh, cute.
speaking of science, it is now time for my favorite segment, which is Science Talks with me, Dana. And so I thought that this news story was pretty relevant because I know I don't experience this, but I do know other people who do, that they experience something called seasonal affective disorder, where your mood kind of like gets low during the wintertime. And so it's something that affects many
Oh,
people. Boston
it does.
University, yeah, it does.
Mhm. Not me and Dana, but I know for sure other people become not very exuberant during the winter.
Yes, 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 I agree. And so, this is a seasonal affective disorder, something that affects a lot of people. Boston University claims that 10 million Americans get low moods in the winter months. And so now, effective treatment has proven to be light lamp therapy, which can be used to treat seasonal affective disorder in people who must remain indoors for work, COVID, or both. So now, it was kind of bad before, but at least we could go outside more often. But now, because of COVID, we're stuck indoors, which makes the whole ordeal a lot worse. So, that's a proven effective treatment for seasonal affective disorder, even if it seems very simple. So, there's a scientific concept that backs sort of all of this seasonal affective disorder thing. So it's something called circadian rhythm, and circadian rhythm is present in nearly every living thing. And basically what it is, it's our biological attunement to the day-night cycle, which explains why we start to get tired at night. So it's kind of like the cycle that our body. And so when the
Yeah, like
brain.
our body associates energy with light.
Mhm.
And when I traveled, I believe a year ago to Banff in the summer. And obviously Banff is very pretty much far away from the equator. So they have on the summer they have a lot like long night times. So when we went in the summer, it was really really bright, like from 4 in the morning to 11 p.m.
That's a
So I
lot.
was there driving, yeah, at like 11 p.m. at night, and I did not feel tired, although usually I'm tired during that time because it was so bright outside. Like I couldn't tell what time it was. I just felt like it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Anyways, I thought that was pretty cool. Sorry for interrupting.
No, yeah, yeah, and that definitely correlates to what we're talking about right now. So, when the brain, this is part of the circadian rhythm, when the brain sun is gone, when it's dark outside, it signals the creation of melatonin, which is the chemical that makes you sleepy, in the pineal gland of your brain. But during the wintertime, the sun tends to set much earlier in the day, making you sleepier and moodier, and you're just not, do not have that much energy, and it's just not as much of a vibe. So, by using a light lamp, you can have your own artificial sun to help combat this, and you have this exposure to light that brings you more energy. Of course, it's important to time, when you have it on and off, so you're not too tired too early in the day, but also can't fall asleep at night. So you just have to use it at the appropriate time. But yes, that has been proven to be a effective treatment. So yes,
Wait, so
very.
you're gonna have a lamp with you in the middle of the day?
Yeah, by using, like, for example, if it's dark outside and it's barely like 4 or 5, then you can use a light lamp to help.
Aw, good to know. Good to
Yes, you
know.
have your own little mini sun.
So moving on to our next segment, which is Heidi Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing an exhibit which I visited about a month ago, and it is the Body Worlds exhibit in Houston's Museum of Natural Science. As soon as they opened, so there's not that many people there, and I went on a weekday too, so it was pretty empty. But it was so fun because Body Worlds, like I'm very interested in science. As when I was younger, I would be playing around with slime. I think that's my first step into the science world was making my own slime. And I think I just fell in love with science and like mixing things and hands-on activities, like all sorts of experiments that we do in class, although they're very limited because of liability issues. Anyways, I've always loved experiments and I've always loved science. And I know Dana loves science too.
Yes, we
So
love science. We love science on this
we love
podcast. It's a
science.
science positive podcast.
Exactly. So what happens in this exhibit is it takes you through a path from the moment you become an embryo, I believe, or a zygote. What's the terminology for this?
I think it's
Yeah,
an
I think it's
embryo.
yeah, when you become an embryo, from the all the up until the moment until that you die, it shows you the path of life that your body takes, whether mentally and physically. So, as soon as you enter the exhibit, keep in mind that these are all real bodies that were donated by these wonderful donors, and they are real and they were preserved. So they may seem a little bit shiny and like they look artificial, but they're real. They're just coated in, I believe, formaldehyde or preservative. So, yes, but it's real, I promise you. And it's so cool because you see like the little embryos around like a centimeter long, liquid for preservation, obviously. And you see how tiny they are, like, and you can see like facial features starting to form from the moment that you become conceived up until like you're a baby. It shows like the development of that. And then you move on to like your toddler stage and then adolescence and then adult and then you become an elderly person. And it's so cool because they're real body parts and you don't only see the exterior of the person, you see the insides too. So I saw a stomach, I saw a liver, and it also shows you a variety of health problems that can arise in your lifetime, such as the difference between a normal body part and one who is infected with some sort of disease. And it's really, really cool because they also advocate for a healthy lifestyle, such as exercising well and eating well. And they also put and this is what I really loved about this, is that a high emphasis on mental health because your
Yes.
mental health affects your physical health.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, and mental health is
So
a priority on our podcast, so we stand the Body World exhibit in Houston Museum Natural Science.
it's so cool. Yeah, and in the exhibit when it be because the whole exhibit took me about 3 hours to complete. So
It's a
towards the
long
end, there
exhibit.
were a little bit more people. It was a very complete. Like usually people complain when things are get too long, but I love it because you get to know the full story, like nothing gets left out.
Yes, that sounds so
So,
fun. I kinda wanna go now. Yes, that sounds so
so
fun. I kinda wanna go now. That sounds really interesting.
no, go, Dana. When I drive, I will take you. I will take you. We're gonna go on a road trip. It's literally like that was the highlight of my trip to Houston for sure. And these were informative but entertaining. And I highly recommend ages. I saw little kids that were like 5 years old up into elderly people in the exhibit, and everyone was amazed. Like no one was bored, because
Mhm.
sometimes in museums they only target a certain demographic, and then the rest of your family's just there like, yeah, graphic, and then the rest of your family's just there like, yeah, are y'all ready? Let's go. But
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
everyone here was like super interested. It's a great family experience because it's very informative, but it's also entertaining at the same time. So if you guys want to have travel, I highly suggest Body World exhibit. And this is located in Houston's Museum of Natural Science. This is absolutely not sponsored. I just love this place so much. And it's just an exhibit, and they have around 10 exhibits in total. And if you buy like a complete package, you're able to explore almost a good 5 to 7 hours there.
That sounds really cool. I really wanna go there now. It will take a road
It's
trip
so good.
when
Did I
Heidi
send
can
you the
drive.
picture of the stomach that I saw?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Heidi was sending me pictures. It looked very cool, very nice. So, Heidi, what do you rate this out of 10?
A 10 out of 10. Actually, no, a 10 out of 10. Actually, no, a
Woohoo!
100 out of 10.
100 out of 10. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, perfect. So now it's time for our motivational quote, which we almost forgot to do. So today's motivational quote is by the one and only Oprah Winfrey. And she said, "To be thankful for what you have, you'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough." And Dana found this quote, and I truly love it because the happiest people don't have the best of things, they make the best of what they have.
Yes, exactly. And that's something to remember, not only tying back to what we talked about today, but also to remember, not only tying back to what we talked about today, but also for the holiday season, just
Yes,
be
happy
happy.
holidays.
Yes, happy holidays and be thankful for your friends and family. And if you keep on reaching for something more constantly and constantly, you're never going to be fulfilled with yourself. So just be grateful and be happy. Thank you very much for listening to our snazzy jazzy commentary. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at @funtimeswdh and visit our website linked in the description to read more about today's news stories. So thank you very much. And I believe that that is all for today.
Yeah, so happy whatever you celebrate, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, which is next year. We'll see you in 2 weeks, which is next year. Next year. This is our last episode of the year, Dana. Can you believe that?
Wow, 22 episodes in 1 year. We're so
It's a great way to end this very tumultuous year. I will say that. We're going to end this on a positive note. So go ahead and watch all these holiday movies and have the best time of your
yes,
life.
watch all the Hallmark movies. All yes, I love Elf. Okay, that is
Okay,
all
talk
for
to you
today.
later. Bye.
Bye.